Well, the Ferrari Dino originated with Ferrari. Some say it's not a Ferrari, but it is. Enzo Ferrari's had a son, Enzo Dino, who actually studied engineering with the view of going into the family business. Unfortunately, he wasn't a well man, and he died at an early age of 23 with a blood disorder. But before he did that, he got involved in a program for Group 2 racing then, which was not 12-cylinder cars, which Ferrari, Enzo himself, only did everything in 12 cylinders, so they developed the V6 for the race specification. And once they finished that, they decided they would put it into a road car, and they designed with Pininfarina this particular model, and they conceived it in the 1960s, started to produce them in the 1968 on a series 1, 2 and 3, finishing in 1974. The series 3 version was in fact a Targa, which this one is. The roof, centre roof comes off, and this was a request from America. Very limited numbers. The Targa one model, it was about 1,200, just about 1,240 of those. With the tin top GT versions, there was something like 2,500. So there was about 4,500 Dinos only made worldwide, which is not a lot. And because he had to produce the car in a reasonable amount, his factory was not capable of doing it, so he went along to Fiat and he got assistance from them in order to produce the car. But it was assembled in Ferrari Maranello factories, and in order to dedicate the car to his son, he took the Ferrari badge off, which is the prancing horse and everything, was completely renewed, and the name Dino, which was dedicated after his son. And that's why we've got the Ferrari Dino. No Ferrari Dino should have anything in the name of Ferrari or the prancing horse logo on it, and that is the way it stood. Fullness of time, its design was magnificent. When you think it was designed in the 1960s, mid to late 60s, and then when you see it in today, it stood the fullness of time. And because of its very, very low numbers, the supply and demand situation has made it a very wanted after car. And the car in its own right, when that car was produced, you could buy one of them for about £6,500 then, when an E-Type was probably about £2,000. Now these cars range, if they're in good condition to perfect condition, that particular model can range from about £375,000 to £450,000. So it is a nice car. The inside is well, it was well upholstered. The stripes you see in the seats are called Daytonas, and what it is, it's got holes on them in the little stripes, where when you sit on them, it kind of eases the air in between you, and they breathe for coolness when you're driving in hot conditions. These have all been replicated by myself, manufactured to identical originals, and that inside of that car is original in every respect, down to the very last top trim on doors and centre console. The engine's a masterpiece. It's a V6 twin carburetor, 195 brake horsepower. Had no real match in competition with the 911 Porsches then, but this car more or less was a a design which was very, very desirable. And as you can see, that engine has been completely and utterly restored, including the top end being modified valve-wise in order to take unleaded fuel. That saves you putting some additive in it all the time. So yes, the car is original in every respect. The full ground-up restoration, as it's called, took 2.5 years. I stripped it and I zinced it before chroming it, and that chrome is absolutely new. And if you just home in on the exhaust, you'll see the name of the exhaust on the side with the red line. See it? There you are. In order to know how the condition of a good Dino, remembering that they're now 50 years old, and they were never built with materials that were free from rust. So in order to know what the car is like, you've got to look at the chassis. That must be inspected. The running gear in the form of the suspension, shock absorbers, they have to be all looked at. The body, where there's the A posts and B posts, the A posts especially, they can let water in and they could rust out. Inner and outer sills have got to be looked at. So if you know what you're looking for, that is it. What you've really got to watch is that people through the decades have not taken them and improvised by doing things. For example, the door trims, when you were doing the interior, there is black crackly vinyl on the top panel, top section of the door, and that is very difficult, if not impossible, to get when I was doing it in the UK. So what people would do is say, just put it into black leather, and then whatever the colour on this occasion, beige, would do that. But I went to California and I imported that, so that I have the car 101%. So when the judges were mulling over this car, and real experts on it, they couldn't find anything that wasn't restored to originality. I, in fact, you can see the wee label just on the top of the spring on the top of the wheel there. All the labels, I said, I reproduced, and all the labels, you see that little yellow label, see it, the wee silly label right in there. See it up the top of the wheel? Yeah. So I replicated that. In fact, Ferrari came to me and asked me to make them some sets. So I made them a dozen sets as well. So everything to the last label was replicated properly, and it was done. The ANSA exhaust pipes, they were all renewed to the specification.
We'll ride down the road with the wind in our hair, radio like just don't care. And I'm down the road with the wind in our hair, radio like just don't care. Left Chicago on a summer night, engine purring under neon light. Said goodbye to the city scene, chased the moon through fields of green. Go we right down the road with the wind in our hair, radio on like it just don't care. Stars above and wheels that shine, baby Route 66 feels mighty fine. Ooh.